Good morning on this May 13th, 2025. I was just looking at the clouds. There's no chemtrails, and there's actually real clouds happening, you know, like normal skies used to be. And that made me think of my friend Tina Hammond. You have to look her up on YouTube sometime, Tina Hammond. And on her recent video, she was talking about chemtrails and how she was flipping the bird at the planes, you know, spraying. And but she doesn't do that anymore. Because when you do anything in resistance energy and you rail against something and you get angry at something, that just reveals your sense of disempowerment and your victimhood, your victim mentality. You feel victimized and disempowered by something you have no control over. And energetically, that translates into, well, how it goes when you're in a victim state that is feeling helpless and controlled by external situations you can't do anything about. That attracts more of the same energy, the same situations. That attracts more events and situations that make you feel out of control. And that's a very difficult way of being in this world. So anyways, Tina changed her energy and her tune to a more neutral response, and I would add that this is linked to the more self-regulated you become, the more you have transmuted your traumas and you can provide your nervous system with more balance, the less of these things occur and fewer things phase you, because in your inner space, you now feel more secure, right? You have regained a sense of control, or simply not caring. Your nervous system is not triggered into fight or flight, and that in itself is empowering. You can be, you can just be and let things be. But anyways, Tina is approaching this now. Basically, when she sees a plane flying, she'll talk to them telepathically and just say, you know, guys, it doesn't work anymore. So, whereas before she felt disempowered and angry and thought by being angry and shooting the bird she could affect anything in the situation, she actually took the power away from the chemtrail planes and pilots and brought it back into herself. And this inner empowerment is what changes the reality. The more we reflect our inner power and we project that out rather than our helplessness, the more the external environment changes around us. That hair is bothering me. So anyways, she switched from victim mentality to being in an empowered state, and the reality around her immediately changed. There's less and less chemtrail planes in the skies, even here. The collective environment, the collective energy no longer supports the old actions of destroying the planet. And this consciousness is trickling and rippling out into the greater awareness of humanity. And so it's with anything that you feel threatened by, disempowered by, out of control over, is expressed in frustration and anger and activism against something, because you are in a disempowered state and you're seeking control, you're seeking empowerment, you're seeking balance. I remember my dad. He was a verbally abusive railer, because really he was a very weak man, frustrated by feeling out of control over the situations in life, and especially over his family. And the only way he could handle that was by screaming at us, right? He did not have a balanced nervous system that would support clarity and wisdom and intelligence to handle life situations, with mental clarity, instead of screaming in frustration and verbally abusing his family and anyone he would come in conflict with, because he lacked the balanced nervous system and the communication skills. So a lot of our conflicts really come from people that feel disempowered, that feel out of control, and their frustration expresses in these abusive ways. But it's all driven by stress, it's driven by trauma, it's driven by this feeling of insecurity in our subconscious mind. And so the more clarity and the more we can help people balance their fears and bring them into homeostasis, into a neutrality within themselves, the more peaceful humanity and the planet will become.